Right, old woman, about 70 years old.
Yeah.
She's normally fit and healthy and stuff, nothing wrong with her, she's having a good life. And one day, she goes for a check to the doctors, just to check herself out, because she's getting on a bit.
Yeah.
Says, take your clothes off and that. So she does, and checks her out, says, yeah, you're looking good, you're looking good. Turn round, he said, oh God. He says, you got a tumour on your buttock. Right? So she goes, oh, what, can you do anything to sort it out? So they go, yeah, we could book you in for an operation, it's best if we remove this. Books are in for an operation, operation day comes, strip her down and that, they're all stood round, the doctors, start to operate. It only turns out it's a pork chop that she sat on 5 years earlier, and it had stuck to her buttock.
Right, Karl.
I can forward you.
I'm not. Right.
No, listen.
Okay,
Serious.
Right, okay, Karl. I'm telling you now. I'm leaving. I'm never doing this show again.
No, I'm serious. Honestly.
You're talking. I've never had such. You are. Play a record. Play a record.
I couldn't believe it.
What do you mean you can't believe it? Stop the record. Stop the record. Stop the record. Right. Okay. Right. What do you mean you couldn't believe it?
No, when I read it, I said I've got to tell Richard.
This woman had a pork chop stuck to her arse for 5 years. You mental case. Of course she didn't. Right, it's that time again, isn't it? Monkey news.
Yeah, monkey news.
Sure, monkey news.
Right, if you're a new listener, this is where we do a bit of monkey news.
Oh, imagine him giving his chance on a news programme, like Newsnight Review or News at 10. Over to Karl Pilkington. Yeah, alright. Monkey's gone mad again. Go on.
Right, we've done quite a lot of good stuff. The one that sort of kicked up most of the fuss was probably Ollie the monkey.
I love the fact that they're all monkeys. He's a chimpanzee.
Well, right.
It's an ape.
Well, today, right, we're looking at one that's it's called Coco.
Oh yeah, the sign language one.
Well, what I've read about him is he speaks, right? Highly educated.
Yeah.
Photographer.
Oh, Karl! Karl!
Right.
I love the fact that when he gets a gifted ape, he has to look up to him. He realises that he is superior. I love that.
Right.
Oh.
And he also likes going on computer chat rooms.
I can't take this anymore. See, I'm gonna be sick. Oh God.
Right, that's pretty amazing.
You know, if an infinite number of monkeys are in an infinite number of chat rooms, they'll eventually type, which is your favourite episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Exactly, yeah. Karl Pilkington, you're an idiot.
But the thing is, right, you're saying about the infinite thing again, about monkeys, if you put them in a room with a typewriter, they'll come up with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I'd sort of agree with that, right, with monkeys who can't do other stuff, but this one I reckon's going to be busy taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think monkeys that are boring...
Is there a boring monkey? Would you ever have a chimp and you'd go, Suzanne would go, I've got your birthday present, and you know, it's a chimp fella, he's about, about a sort of like a middle-aged chimp.
No, I'd love it, I'm talking
Would
on
you ever
behalf
go,
of the...
I'll tell you what, Suzanne, that one's boring.
No, but I bet the monkey would get bored, I mean. Do you know what I mean? The monkey would be bored. I'd be loving it. I'd love to have a little monkey. Right? But what I'm saying is...
You really would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you buy him a camera, he'd be happy again, wouldn't he?
Well... Yeah, but that's just it. You wouldn't get him It's like... If you can do other stuff, you don't want to do the boring stuff.
Forget the typing, forget the monkey's typing. Talk about this monkey that's a photographer.
No,
what
but we
you
are in a way. I'm just saying that would be happier... Monkeys that have got nothing else to do, if they can't take pictures and that, and they can't go on chat rooms...
They're happy to sit in a room typing away for infinity, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But he's got maybe a little exhibition to put on.
Do you think...
Do you know that most chimps and apes and monkeys still actually just live in trees? These are in laboratories and zoos and things. You know that's not the norm. These monkeys walking around sort of chatting and riding bikes.
Yeah.
You know, that's not natural.
Exactly.
No, I know, but it's...
If you left a bike in the jungle and then came back a few years later, there wouldn't be monkeys riding around on it. And a book. If you left a bike with a book in the basket, right, and you went away for 10 years and you came back, there wouldn't be a whole new transport system and schools.
No.
They'd eat it. They'd throw it round and eat it.
Alright then, so what you're saying is you can't... You see, what I think is, right, and don't take this the wrong way in that, right, Stephen Hawking,
Yes.
right, now he had a bad illness. Now, I wonder if he'd be... I wonder if he'd be as bright as he is if he didn't have that.
Right.
Because he's had time to sit down, he's like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
They've gone and give him a book. And he read it. I like that. Give us another one.
Yes.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yes.
Now, what I'm saying is, monkeys... Yeah,
Right.
This one here, Coco, which I think was a gorilla,
Right.
right? That wouldn't have been happy on a little keyboard, just doing that all
Typing
day,
away.
because it'd be going, well, I could be out taking pictures.
Sure.
Play a record!
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Play a record!
Yeah.
Done.
You're an idiot!
There it was. There's the catchphrase. Once more.
He is! He's an idiot!
Rick, I sometimes get off at the tube at Tottenham Court Road if I want to look at the record shops before I
Yeah.
come into XFM, and I always cut through Chinatown.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I come through Chinatown, the same thought always strikes me. I always feel like I want to just gather all the little locals, all the little Chinese fellas, just gather them round and just go, guys, in what way is this a town?
It's not, is
This is not, at best, what you've got here is a novelty street.
Yeah, Gerrard Street is not a town,
No,
mate.
it's not a town. You've had this here
Just
for like
because you put a
100
little
years. It's not
pagoda.
expanding.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just call it Chinatown and claim it's a town.
If I was them though and you do that, I go, what are you talking about? It is a town, it is a town, it's
What, in
our
what
town.
way?
It is a town, it's our town, we've got all lots of
Where's
stuff.
your church? Where's your mayor?
We got a betting shop.
Not enough.
It is.
You see, all you've got here is restaurants.
No.
That's not a town.
No, got a little supermarket with snacks.
What does it sell?
Snacks.
Specifically, I would imagine crackers.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to buy a dragon? Do you want to buy an ornamental dragon?
If I wanted to buy one, this is where I would.
Do you want to buy a gold dragon?
Is it made of gold?
No, it's made of plastic, but it's sprayed gold. Do you want to buy that?
It's not a town.
It is a
It's
town.
not a town.
Yeah.
And it annoys me because when I first came to London, I genuinely thought Chinatown was going to be this amazing, what they've got there is
You'd hear a gong and
yeah,
every time you went in there,
and
right?
there'd be rickshaws and people walking on those little sort of wooden shoes. You know those ones? They're brilliant. They are just clomping around in them, but nothing. It's nothing.
Hats.
It's just exactly. It just reminds me of, have you ever been to any of those sort of museums? You tend to have them up north, where they've got like, you sort of sit in a little cart and it sort of rides you through kind of, I don't know, it might be,
Newcastle,
the Victorian era.
Yeah. Can I have half a pound of those sweets, please?
Exactly.
Of course you can.
If there was some animatronic then, it would just be an exhibit.
Yeah.
at some kind of museum.
Their concession of being 100 years ago is that there's some scales in
Exactly.
the shop and there's a horse outside.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it.
That's it, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The traditional sounds and smells of old England.
And the voice of going, of course, there was no television.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Brilliant. Yeah.
Haven't they got one
Welcome
of
to Chinatown. Oh.
Ding, 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 ding.
So it's not. Yeah, it's a good point.
Is that a piece of traditional music? Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Is that some traditional Chinese music, or is that music that someone in this country wrote, thinking it sounded like Chinese
I
music?
think it was the. Was it the Vapors? Wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it is? That? Because it sounds different. That's the music, isn't it? But are you sure they didn't take that from some other source?
it's that pentatonic scale, isn't it? What is it called? It's the black notes on the piano.
Right, that's the one I can play along with EastEnders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't get with it?
Go on.
Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown, because I always walk through it on the way to work. A couple of things annoy me. First of all, I think it's bad business, just because if you've got a Chinese restaurant, put it somewhere where there isn't any others.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but it's also a community. They're not just a theme park for other people.
I remember going out one night with Suzanne and some friends, and you got there and there's so much choice. It's that dilemma of, oh, forget it.
Well,
And
not
we went
really.
somewhere
Specifically,
else.
do you fancy Chinese?
Well, no, but
No,
why don't you go to the one with the dead ducks hanging in the window? That's my
That's the
favourite.
other thing as well. It's like, normally you put your good stuff in the window. If that's what's in the window. Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing that annoys me, walking through it today, there's always lard on the floor.
What, in the street?
In the streets.
It is, honestly. I'm scared I'm going to slip over. it's because all the restaurants and that. But why is it? Oh, that's another point.
Well, it's not oozing out of the restaurants.
No, but why is it? Why is
I
it?
don't know what they do.
Careful. Listen, no, but why is
That's why they used to wear those little wooden shoes.
it? No, okay, we've
No,
got.
but the thing is as well, they try and wash it with water, which doesn't work with
No.
lard, and it's like oil.
Famously, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even I know that.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
scrub it.
So,
You think
sorted that out.
Yeah.
You think they'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for your thoughts on Chinatown, Carl.
Right. What do you think of that then?
Yeah.
We've got one more bit left.
Brilliant.
One more fact. The French, right, when they were at war,
David Sharma, I just imagine him just introducing. I think amazing.
Which war was this?
it was still the World War,
One or
World
two.
War- World War
Go
Two.
on, it's 50-50, go on. Yeah. yeah.
Right, World War Two, what the French did, everyone needs a code.
Everyone needs a code. Yep.
A code when you're in the army.
This is
and
a Disney song.
that, right? And you know, to sort of give the go ahead if you want to go into battle and stuff.
Okay.
Right. So,
Everyone needs a code.
but the weird thing
Game
is,
show.
right? The weird thing
Everyone.
is, do you know what theirs was?
Go on. Do you?
Yeah, I know what it is. And it's
So what
a bit
was
weird.
the French code?
For what?
To sort of say, right, yeah, go on
But they had more than one.
on this day.
But I don't know what day it is.
On
All
this
right.
day.
Oh, what? It's like saying, what am I thinking of? What was the battle? What was the...
Okay, so alright, what...
Look at him, look at him, look, he's genuinely confused that I've asked this question. Right.
It was
No! If you ask me a question, ask me the question correctly. What was the code for battle during what battle?
World War Two.
No, that's not a battle. That's a war.
Yeah, it was in a war. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. He confuses people.
Oh. Alright, okay, what was it, Carl? What was the
Yeah,
code?
what
was
are
the
you
French
thinking
code?
of? Right.
John's got a moustache.
What are you talking
My
about?
lungs are gonna burst.
That was a code that the French used. You know, like, I mean, I just think it's a bit daft, right? Because you could come up with that by mistake.
yeah. Two French blokes talking in the trenches, and they see a major walk past, and they go, "Oh, look, John's got a moustache," and they all go and go, "No, I was just talking. What are you talking about?"
Well, the way I don't think that's a good code. I'm not.
I
you
don't
know-
believe it is the code.
No, it is seriously.
And what?
And
It's
would
just
it,
that
would
no
it have
one
been
talks
would it have
about
been
it.
said in French?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the weird-
guessing. Yeah.
No, but
What?
you see, I can't even be bothered
What are you saying, Carl?
because it's not a very good code. Do you know, like we've talked in the past about things you don't see, and I said an old man eating a Twix.
Yeah.
If they use that's safe. Because no one is ever going to see a man having an old man having a Twix.
What do you mean?
Well, use that as a code. Don't use a saying, John's got a moustache, that could crop up. And it's like the war's kicked off. How'd that happen? Well, I said John had a moustache. Oh,
Two French folks would never be saying John's got a moustache. Why would they?
Because back then they were fashionable.
He nearly makes sense, doesn't he?
I assume it would have been Jean.
Yeah. No, probably John.
And how would this code have been? I mean, who would have announced
No, I
this
just
to
read
everyone?
it. I read it like that, Steve. That's what was on the internet. This is a code that was used. John's got
But
a
don't be
moustache.
angry with me.
I know, but you're always asking questions.
That's because I'm interested in history.
Yeah. No, you're genuinely interested in bloke, Carl. We'd like to know. I'd like to film you secretly. You know, like they do, like Nature Watch, when they put it in a badgers sort of thing,
Line,
right?
yeah.
And they just watch it. I'd like to see what you do, pop around and go, I wish I could download the music in your head. Because it'd be, wah, 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 and you see something weird, you go, wah, 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 wah. And then you read that and you go, wah, and you write it down, and that's what comes out. John's got a moustache.
I'd like to see next Christmas.
Imagine the French, right, for their battle cry, for their battle code to know it's going ahead, they're going over the top, is you never see an old bloke eating a Twix. Imagine that.
Yeah, but all these things are things that I think in my head.
Keep them in there.
Tell us about this monkey, Carl.
You're going to love this one, Steve,
Go on.
right? So last week we were talking about how, like, a lad left his family because there was problems at home and that. He went and lived in the wood. He got airy. Right?
No.
Leave it there, Rick. We haven't got time to go into
Right,
it.
so
That's what happened.
and that's what happened. He lived with the monkeys. He went airy.
That's
Anyway,
what happened. That's what happened.
looked into some other stuff about like airy kids and all that.
Yeah.
Came across this story about a bloke, right, who worked in a zoo,
Oh dear.
right. So
Trouble's brewing.
loving his job and that, but it's quite a lonely sort of job because you don't see many people. You're just dealing with animals all the time, right? So anyway, he gets a bit pally with a monkey because it's the closest thing to a human.
Well, that ape is.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't really go that close to apes. Is
Well,
it dangerous?
what do you mean? What type was it? Do you
Just
mean it was
let
a
him tell the
Was it
story.
a chimpanzee?
I reckon it was a chimp. Yeah. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
you
a
don't
chimp.
even know,
It
so
was a
that's an
chimp.
ape.
It was a chimp.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it?
So he
It's the
gets
story.
pally with him.
Right, so he gets pally with
What,
him.
did they
and
go on
he's-
holiday together?
Well, no, I mean, it starts
On the
off.
pool together.
Starts off just checking each other out and you know, probably sharing lunch and that together.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, this goes on for a while. Is you know, they're getting on well on that, and then after a while, right, the monkey starts sort of imitating him a bit more and sort of walking upright.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Right. So he thinks, oh, that's a bit weird. Anyway, they get on really better and what have you. So he thinks he could live at home with me. This
Yeah.
because we're getting on the storm.
Yeah.
Right. So he takes him home, and before
Is
you
this
know
the
it,
beginning of Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I think it is. I think you've seen this on video.
I'm worried because he's already imitating him and they're moving in together. I'm thinking it's maybe a bit like single white female. Single white zookeeper.
Oh, brilliant.
right. So
Go on.
anyway, so it's moving in, and it's getting used to sort of the normal human life. It's having a cup of tea in the morning.
Yeah. PG tips.
As a it finishes the day off with
Oh dear.
Finishes the day off with what?
It
with a
doesn't
little
have him
brandy.
move a piano at one point,
He
does he?
finishes the day off with a little brandy.
yeah.
What, he pours himself a Is he wearing a smoking jacket?
You, I'll tell you what, Carl. You're a maniac,
listen,
mate.
no, this is why it attracted me. It's amazing, right? So he's having his brandy and that, loving his life. Next thing you know, he sort of I don't know if he loses it or he gets shaved, but the top half of his body is
Becomes
hairless,
hairless.
right? Apart from his head, right? So he's got a
Right.
nice.
So it's the opposite of the kid.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what
Well,
I'm saying,
that would happen.
right?
Well, hang on, but so you don't know if
You
he
don't
was
even
shaved
know.
or if it
How
was
did it say? Then the hairless. What?
I'll bring it in for you, the story, and then you
All right,
can
well,
see if
okay,
I've gone
keep
wrong.
going, keep
so
going.
anyway, so
Wow.
so this is going on, and he's having a great life. Then the zookeeper starts getting a bit annoyed because he's having a better life than the zookeeper. The zookeeper's in the
This
zoo.
is such
So the
rubbish.
zookeeper's still got to do a day's work. The monkey's at home, he's partying.
Well,
he's
it
got
gets
his
to a
other
point when he
chipmates
says
round.
there's no point you coming in to the zoo because the whole reason of you being there was because you're being kept there.
Right.
And he didn't want to bring the memories back, so he said, you stay at home. So
You are you're talking such.
Just let him finish.
God, I don't know if I can sit here and listen to this drivel.
Let me. I'm fascinated.
it's
It
nearly
sounds
over anyway,
amazing.
right?
It sounds extraordinary. Carl.
So he's walking upright, he's having a tea in the morning, finishing the day off with brandy. Gets a bit out of hand, only tries it on with the zookeeper's wife.
Make him go away, Steve.
How does he do that?
Well, because he's around humans a lot, he becomes a bit of a charmer. And,
But what is it that he could do to seduce her? Pick fleas out of her?
he didn't say.
He's
but-
built. He was built.
Yeah, it's well done.
So what
Listen.
about
What do you mean? What about it, Carl? It's obviously not true. It's obviously not true.
that? This wasn't on the internet, this was in a book. So it's not a quick joke and just put it on a website. This is in a book.
I don't understand how. The
I
monkey-
love that he becomes a charmer. He's got better taste in brandy.
Exactly.
And he, that
What
is-
was it that he was doing that seduced her?
I don't know, maybe because he was at home more than the zookeeper was.
But what would he be doing,
I love
Carl?
the fact that-
He's not going to be talking with her. They're not going to be playing like Trivia Pursuit.
Maybe she liked the silent type. He didn't go into that, he just said that's when the trouble started.
Carl, play a record.
Alright.
Is that what Suzanne did when she brought you in? So have you ever done any like DJing, like proper DJing, like in a pub or a club? Because I know
Wow.
Carl had his own. I had my own disco when I was a kid.
Yeah, not proper. I had a gig once when I had to. It was 2 nights a week in the local pub. Just the 2 decks that was in a suitcase. You know, those sort of
Yeah,
like all in
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing. And they just wanted the same records. They wanted Rod Stewart, Baby Jane. They wanted about a quarter to 11 when they were all drunk, they wanted Don McLean's American Pie, which they all sang along to.
Yeah.
Uptown Girl they liked.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't used to do the talking
Did you
at
do
all.
the patter?
No,
'Cause
I
never
couldn't.
had the-
I
never had
just
the balls to do
just
the
don't
patter.
understand it. I just love those wedding sort of DJs that they have to give you extra information. They can't just play a song. They have to say things like, "Ooh, all the way back there in the Commodore's easy." It's sort of like they have to tell
But
you
who's
something.
listening?
Who's listening? They're just going
It's
to
a
play the
wedding.
next record.
It's
Play
a wedding.
yeah.
It's like, what, there's like the controller of a local radio station listening. It just happens to be at the wedding thinking, hang on.
Hold on, he's played a record, but he's got extra information. Well, they should do useful things at a wedding. Like, will the overweight aunt in the purple dress please now take the floor with little unfortunate kid and let him hop around?
As the dance floor is currently empty, will any 8-year-old boys wearing those tiny tuxedos please slide across the dance floor on their knees? Until they are taken home and put to bed early.
I went to one once, and the bloke who'd hired it went to the DJ, and this DJ that had come with this sort of party wanted a 70s disco, and he looked like Woody Allen, right? And I was sure he used to be a gentleman's outfitters,
Yes.
like, and he said, "Oh, I wanted a 70s disco," and he went, "Well, I've got Bicycle Race by Queen lined up, I've got ELO, and I've got Cliff We Don't Talk Anymore, so..." And he went, "Well, I went sort of more disco." He went, "I don't really want to blow all my Earth, Wind and Fire before 10. But it's like, all planned.
There is a rule. There are rules. Will the 17-year-old girl who's dressed like Avril Lavigne please tut loudly because I still haven't played anything by Linkin Park?
Will the 45-year-old woman recently divorced please cry now?
Yeah.
Please cry now.
Please cry now because it's clear you're never going to find another man. Because you used to be a DJ, didn't you? Because there is a sort of rule, definitely. I remember there was like, you know, what I learned was that there are certain tunes you just do not play early on. Oh, What a Night, for instance.
Dun, 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 yeah.
People, you never play that before like 11. You want that last hour before they've got to go home to be non-stop dancing.
When would you pop on Dancing Queen?
Interesting, thanks for that. Is there a buffet being served?
Yes.
Yeah, well, definitely post-buffet. I remember there was great days. I was reminded this recently by ITV's Reborn in the USA. There was a great time where you could come out of the buffet or any kind of speech with a bit of Gina G. Who, I remember there was a great period for a couple of years where that was always a barnstormer.
Sure.
But sadly, no longer the case. What about, I mean, because the danger is, of course, you go back to the 70s, maybe you got Dancing Queen, but how many do you play before you come into the 80s with perhaps Billie Jean?
Or Soft Cell.
Soft Sound's always a classic, yeah. I'd love to hear that. And, because there's always controversy now, as to whether Love Shack is overplayed. I know that's a big discussion
I've
now.
never liked it. No, I just like, will any 35-year-old men please now dance ironically to Bombastic, in the vain hope that someone will actually find them attractive.
What did
Love
you...
Shack, oh no, never liked
Come
it.
on, Eileen?
I never, yeah, alright, I just never liked any records that with a hint of novelty about them.
They are popular though, they're floor fillers.
I hate them. I just...
You haven't done DJing now, have you?
Exactly.
What do you
You've been
mean?
singing on
You
the other
haven't,
side
you
of your
haven't done it,
face.
have you?
Yeah,
Have you?
yeah,
Not
And you didn't play
popular.
Dexter's Midnight Runners?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't plan it out that much when I did it. It was like, I knew I had the tights and cigars to give away.
Yes. Yeah.
Which he
at the
stole
raffle.
from his parents' bedroom beforehand.
Yeah.
Why were you giving away stuff at a disco anyway? Why aren't you just playing records?
Because people liked it, didn't they? If it wasn't...
It hasn't changed. We're doing this. We talk rubbish, we play records, and we give away crap that we
Yeah.
found.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed, has it?
And, so I had some good times. I mean, for people who haven't been listening all the time, it was called Pilkey's Making Music.
Yeah.
Colin
Colin
It
Makin.
was like Pilkington, and my mate was called something Making, and the music was what we played,
Yeah.
right? And they had some
Perfect.
cards made, had some nice blue glossy cards made, but they were quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I used to hand them out, and then they'd say cheers for that, and say, no, write it down, write the number down, I want that back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because they were quite pricey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Classy,
Had that
classy
done.
businessman there.
Made,
I think
saved,
Richard
a bit,
Branson used to do that.
I think so, yeah.
saved a bit of money, because my dad made some lights for me. He just like...
He said he made them, he found them in a telephone box.
Yeah.
the-
People were making phone calls in the dark.
Yeah.
Round the neighbourhood.
Exactly.
It was just white bulbs in like a box, and like my mate making, he used to just flick them on and off, like the thing, and then they'd be in time with the music and that. And
Perfect.
Well, you had to sit there and flip
I
the
love
lights
that.
on
I
and
love
off.
that. We got our sound to light system. What's his name? Colin.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
right, so
Did you ever
we'd do
rent
that.
him out?
Right, well, we never had any disasters, right? But my mate did one, right? And I don't know if it's that funny really, but Well, I'll tell you anyway, right? He was doing this gig, and it was probably one of the biggest gigs, right, that he ever had. Must have been a couple of hundred people there. Yeah. And, in like a big sort of warehouse thing. Anyway, for some reason, there was some problem with a big speaker that fell, right? So, the police turn up and stuff.
Right.
And they try to control the night, and they're going, can everyone sit down? We try to control it. Can you sit down? So anyway, you get a few, like, little groups of people sitting down on the floor, and people were still stood up, and the police were saying, look, you know, we're going to cancel this whole night if you don't all sit down, and more people are sort of sitting down. It's going on for about 20-odd minutes, right? Will you please sit down? And it gets to this point when there's just one lad stood up in the middle. And he's going, look, you're ruining it for everyone. Will you sit down? And it goes quiet for a bit, and someone's muttering something. And he goes, the lad standing up has got calipers on his legs. Can we have a round of applause for the kid?
Who said that?
It was this lad who was doing the DJ. He was the DJ. So, like, the police and everything were saying, well, you sit down, you're ruining it for everyone else.
Dear. You know, the quick way to sort that out would have been to play
James.
Yeah. Or sit down. Yeah.
But most of mine I had good nights.
Yeah.
Always got rebooked and stuff, and
I had a bunch of Venture Scouts went mental once, had a food fight.
What were you playing to Venture Scouts for?
Well, we got booked by everyone, Rick. I mean, we started with weddings and local, you know, things, but we soon went up. I mean, at one point we played a massive gig in a big tent in the middle of nowhere for some scouts, and they absolutely loved us. Rage Against the Machine. Oh, they couldn't believe their luck.
Did I tell you the time when the doctor said I was going to die?
All right, keep talking.
Right, ages ago, must have been about 15, right? And at lunchtime there was this. We used to have a choice of stuff to do at lunchtime, right? We used to have like a burger place that had an arcade machine in it, right? So we used to go there and play on that and have a burger. Or there was this baker's, right, that my mum worked at, and did great cakes and stuff, right? So she used to like bring some home and that, but she couldn't always bring them home every night because, you know, they cost money, and she used to get them for free. And they used to say they'd rather chuck them away than give them to the staff because there's a chance that the cream might be off.
Right.
Right, so they used to chuck them round the back. So I used to go round the back with my mate and eat a load.
Brilliant. Eating out of bins.
No, it wasn't out of bins, they were still in trays, but they just stacked them up near the bins, right? So this got out, I mean, it used to be chocker. Once the school found out, everybody used to go there, and it'd be like, well, have a cake.
The headmaster fighting the kids off.
Right, so I'd have, like, you know, you just eat, I don't know, 6 jam donuts or something, and then you'd spend your dinner money on the arcade machine.
Brilliant.
Right? So it was a good afternoon, really, right? So you'd do that, and this one day I must have had 6 or 7 jam donuts, a few Congress tarts.
What's a Congress tart?
I love them, I can't get them in London, right? So I'd have some of them.
If anyone can get a Congress tart for Karl in London, please let him know.
So anyway, this day, that was just a normal day. Do you know what I mean? You'd once, twice a week, you'd have a load of cake.
In your life,
yeah.
So
normal
anyway,
day in your life. Were the frog boys there with the webbed hands and the big heads?
So,
and the horse in the settee? Yeah.
But the day after one of these days, I had really bad cramp in my belly. Right? I was like in agony, could hardly walk. So I said to my mum,
you could hardly stagger to the free cakes.
So, I was in absolute agony. I said, I don't like doctors, but you'll have to get a doctor in because I don't know what it is, I can't walk. She gets the doctor round, I won't say his name, but he said, well, doesn't look like he's got long left.
Blimey.
So I was a bit like, hang on a minute, I've only had a few cream donuts.
Yeah.
My man was panicking.
Sure.
He went, my dad came in from work, she said, oh, something's really bad with Karl, I think it's serious, you know, the doctor said he ain't got long left. So he said, what, he said that and just left? So she said, yeah. He said, I'll have to call him then. So he called him up, said, what's all this about? You know, Karl hasn't got long left, how long's he got? So he goes, oh, I was only messing. He's just had some bad cream. Can you believe that?
Well, the thing is,
I like the fact your mum didn't ask any questions.
I know.
She didn't go into detail. Can you explain more, Doctor? No, I got to show off.
But she doesn't. She doesn't like talking.
You know, I don't want to diss you or your family, but I imagine if I was there, I'd have known the doctor was joking. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I sound very arrogant there. But I imagine he went, what's he done? Yeah, I had about 6 cream cones. Oh, right. Oh, wow. He hasn't got long to live then. I'll see you later. That's what I think the doctor did.
Yeah. It's like the idea your mum just let him go.
Yeah.
Terrified, thinking, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to probe him. He's that's it then.
Dad comes in. Hi, honey, I'm home. Anything happened? The doctor said Carl's gonna die and then left. Did he? I'll call him. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, the amazing Steve Merchant and the incredible Karl Pilkington. Alright? Right, we've done that. Monkey news. Right, straight. Let's hit 'em dead. Let's go straight with cheap as chimps, Karl.
Right, well, this will probably finish today, to be honest.
Oh,
right? Because what if we looked at it, cheap as chimps, we found out that...
They eat one banana. Next, go on, do this one.
banana a day and that.
Yeah, that's
Right,
it, brilliant.
So what...
It was a long-running feature, go on.
What? Sorry, can I just ask again? What are the rules with cheapest chimps?
It's just, you know, if you wanted a chimp, how much would it sort of cost you?
Brilliant.
Right?
Title come first?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
As always, that's the way we do it. Right? Cheap as chimps. I thought I'll go online and see, you know, if I could buy one. How much do you reckon?
£6,000.
To buy a chimp?
Yeah.
Oh no, ridiculous amount. Where can you buy them from? What sources? You shouldn't be able to buy them.
eBay.
What do you mean? Buy a chimp? From who?
There was this website that was selling stuff.
What, you could actually
What are you talking about?
Right, here we go then, right? I looked at it. Here's some of the other animals that were on there.
No, wait a minute. What, are these poachers?
I don't know.
What, the zoos that got bored with them? Where can you buy a chimp?
I don't want to give it a plug.
Right,
Some
go on then.
website, right?
So what are the other animals available?
Right, well, that'll give you some prices with the other animals, then you can try and work out if it's cheap as chimps, right? So, right, a camel. What do you reckon?
£25,000.
Right, $8,000 for a camel, right? Sloth,
40 quid.
$3,000.
Right.
Last one, Bengal tiger,
Oh, that's got to be pricey. $12,000.
$1,800.
What?
Yeah.
Carl, this is an awful website. That can't be true, mate.
Right,
That's
so,
awful.
a chimp,
Well, a chimp,
$5,000.
I'm going to go with $1,000.
55,000.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know what to say because this is rubbish anyway. What website can you buy? Okay, get me a tiger. Here's £1,000. Get me a tiger.
well, I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Postage and packages and...
Sorry, so where does the cheapest chimps element come in?
Well, that's sort
Aren't
of
you supposed to
rounded up-
shout, it's cheapest chimps at the end?
Well, it isn't. That's why I want to finish the feature.
I don't know what is the cheapest chimps?
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing broadcasting.
So,
We're up for a Sony Award, aren't we? I hope they're listening because it's ours.
Yeah.
I mean,
it must
with features like cheapest chips, it's ending because they're not.
It's in the bag.
Carl's not really in festive mood, but
I can't imagine Christmas is your time of year, is it, Carl? Well, I'm not sure any time of the year is, really.
I liked it when I was about... I think when I was about 7 I enjoyed it.
was that the one? Was that the year, the big year for
You
you?
get loads of stuff, you don't have to worry about anyone else, but once you've, like, got a job...
What did you get when were you doing your paper round? How old were you then?
I was about 13, 14.
Well, that was then you were a man, weren't
I
you?
had I had to buy stuff.
Oh.
But you're still not
You're
having
quite
a
a
good
selfish
time.
man, aren't you? I didn't realise this.
No, it's just that Christmas...
And that's coming from him, Carl.
My dad always said...
Oh, right, steady on.
Dad said Christmas morning was for, like, you know, for me, so he used to stay in bed. So he never...
That's brilliant. That's a great thing to say, isn't it? Yeah. Christmas morning's for you. Run wild. Do what you want. Just don't bother me.
I'm going to Honolulu for 2 weeks.
That's great. Dad, it's Christmas. Do I have to do anything? No.
So my mum used to get up, because she used to like to see my face light up, you know, when I opened my presents. And then,
to keep fireworks.
and then I'd have to go to my bedroom from about 6 o'clock onwards, because, like, my mum and dad were into having big Christmas parties, and I wasn't, like, old enough to go.
Right.
So they'd say, right, you know, you've had your fun there, you go up to your bedroom, stay in there. And,
Really?
Yeah, I remember one year, right, I got a train set, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? It's brilliant. playing with it all day. I thought, I don't mind about the party, I'm happy staying up here playing with this. Brother comes in, he's had a few, right? He's going, yeah, give us a go on your train.
How old is he?
He's a bit older than me, so he might have been like, let's see.
Well, let him be 18.
Yeah, probably about 18, 19,
And how old
something
were
like that. I had a train set, so, I don't know, about
14.
something like that. Yeah. Right, so I'm playing on that, loving it and stuff. And then he comes in and goes, oh, give us a go. He turns the transformer up to like 14. He went really fast for about 5 seconds, broke it, and then he went back downstairs.
Wow.
So Christmas, I hadn't even got to
Sounds
Christmas
like
Day.
the Conservative government with British Rail.
Satire, that is.
Rick, I just thought that there's satire. If there's any satirical shows listening or
it doesn't work in any way, because there's the analogy falls down apart from there being a train.
Think it through, though. British Rail was trains.
Yeah.
And the government broke the trains in many. Well, they didn't break them, like, not officially breaking them, but they kind of...
It does work, it's perfect.
Oh, I'm very pleased with that.
And I can't, and no one's asked him to be on Have I Got News For You?
It's weird, isn't it?
Because
it's strange, that, when you've got a satirical mind that's as quick as that.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
he's broke your little train set. So what did you do?
I just like watched telly and had some sausages.
I bet you were happy with that, though, weren't you?
It's a bit annoying, though, isn't it, when your main present of the year's been broke.
And did it ever get it fixed?
No, that was it. That was it. Put away.
I'm intrigued why your parents wouldn't let you come and join in the festive fun. Was it like really debauched down there? Was it like eggnog everywhere? And
Well, no, but I mean, that's fair enough. 6 seems a little bit early, but I just think, you know, if you're your kid, you know, he had his fun, put him to bed at 8, maybe. And
you think so on Christmas Day? I thought that was a day for family.
Well, not if there's a party going on.
Well, don't have the party on Christmas Day.
Well, that's another option.
Yeah. Your parents are weird. Aren't they a strange breed?
Well, I think that was the year, right? You're talking about buying presents and stuff. I think I did treat my mum to... I didn't buy my dad anything. I think that was, like, when I got a bit older, he used to get me dad something, because he wasn't that bothered anyway.
No.
So, got me mum, there was a cheap shop, right?
Of course.
Thank God for that.
Called Snips, right? So I went in there and I thought, let's see what I can get her. And remember Victoria Plum?
I don't think so.
Well, it's like a fairy character.
Right.
Right? And my mum's into gnomes and stuff, right? So I thought, right...
She must be pleased with you, then.
Victoria Plum. I was thinking, is that one of the neighbours? Is it like a brandy
Do you
liqueur?
remember Victoria Plum?
Victoria Plum?
Victoria Plum, yeah, it's like a little fictional sort of character, right?
Okay.
So I saw it, I thought, yeah, she'll love that, right? So I did my paper round, saved up for 2 weeks, right?
Oh.
Got that sorted, went to Snips, bought the Victoria Plum. Next day, I'm in town with her, right? So I think, oh, I know what I'll do. I said, come in here a minute, right? So we go in, and we're looking around, and I tested her, right? I went, look at that there, that's alright, innit? And she goes, oh, it's bloody awful.
Oh, Carl. Oh, Carl, oh, God.
So then, Christmas Day comes, I said, don't bother opening it. She said, no, why? I said,
Oh,
"Don't
no, why didn't you still give it to her?
So, well, it's too late, I'd already bought it.
Oh, Carl.
So she opened it, and I was like... And she said, oh, well, that's nice. I said, why are you saying that? I said, the other day, he said it's bloody awful. She said, oh, no, I thought you were pointing at something else.
Oh, no.
So that's why I don't get anyone anything anymore.
Oh, God. Play record. Oh, God. Oh. I'm actually quite affected by Carl's Victoria Plum scenario. Just the fact that, like, that eagerness, he wants to make sure it's a great present. He's saved up his paper round. He thinks it's like a gnome, but modern.
I'm worried that you're using it as an excuse now, and that's why you're not buying anyone any gifts, because you've had your fingers burned once. I mean, you were 6, 7 years old. To be fair...
No, you weren't. You were about 13, weren't you, if you're doing your paper round?
Yeah, it must have been, yeah, 11 or 12 then.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'd saved up. Oh, no, I'm not using it as a thing, it's just that...
What do you get your mum this year?
I've sent them some money so they can, get a passport.
So they can get a passport?
Where are they?
Immigrants?
Are they trapped somewhere? Well, they're in a holding bay somewhere in Dover.
Yeah, I got a friend who's a truck driver who's going to sneak them across.
What do you mean?
So they can buy a passport. What do they do? Sell it when they were a bit down in their luck?
No, they haven't got that much money, right? They've never been abroad, and the mate said they might take them next year, and they said, oh, we haven't got a passport, so I thought...
You've got to buy a passport, have you? Isn't that your God-given right as an Englishman?
No, you got to pay for them. They're 30 quid each, so you better add do, otherwise they're conning me.
Right.
They
So
said
you
it's
send them
30 quid.
60
You don't
quid?
get born with a passport, of
You
course you
send them
don't.
60 quid in an envelope, have you?
Well, check.
Right.
I love that. He'll be watching telly and France will come on and they go, oh, what do you think of that? She goes, it looks bloody awful. He
Yeah,
goes,
you-
don't
oh,
open it.
no.
Don't open it. Don't open it.
So you've not paid for a holiday for them. You've
No, I've
you've
just
given
sorted
them-
out the... Well, it's the better prize, isn't it? Because they can't go anywhere without it.
Well, the passport keeps on giving.
Yeah, so,
10 years. That is, yeah.
so, but no, I never used to, I mean, I can't think of other things. I used to get me dad once I started getting him stuff, it sort of used to be a dressing gown,
Yeah.
and then, but as an extra surprise, I used to put like a cigar in the pocket, so he'd think that was it.
Yeah.
Then he'd put it on and put his hand in the pocket.
Right.
Go,
And then
"Oh,
he
what's
just
this?"
hit you because he thought you'd nicked it.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So you bought him a jacket with a cigar. That's quite thoughtful.
Didn't you sneak a cigar once on Christmas?
Yeah, well, it was that's when they used to have like the big do's, like I say. You know, they were known for it. Like the whole estate used to know that. You know, we were having a party.
Yeah.
So,
True that.
So they'd all come round.
so they all come round and
You know.
just have food and drink and that.
pocket the,
I can't
ornaments.
imagine. I cannot imagine how unpleasant that must have been.
Awful. Awful.
And you locked in your bedroom with a broken train set.
Yeah. Crying.
And looking at Victoria Plum, whatever that was.
in the bin.
Oh, in the bin, yeah. And hear a mum saying, and he got me this.
Got me this
Isn't this
piece
shit?
of rubbish.
You could hear him just throwing it against the wall and
all
laughing.
the neighbours laughing. yeah.
And you'd come down and just be in pieces with loads of spit on it.
Yeah.
Just
They'd
loads
have
of
scratched
gob
out
on
the
it.
eyes.
And all the Polaroids of them just like laughing at
Yeah,
it and
pointing.
stamping on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's brought it all flooding back.
But no, I used to get up in the morning and then like they'd still sort of all be there asleep on the floor and on the sofa. And that.
Oh, that's awful.
Carl.
That's terrible. Christmas is surely the one day a year which is a family thing. It's for the kids. They're the ones
No,
that
but
are...
that was Boxing Day.
Well, I know.
Oh, that's all right.
It's not as it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Back on the
Christmas
bike.
is over.
All right. Who's going to pay for this? What, me? Yes, Carl. You're doing 2 rounds today.
Yeah, was your paper round supporting the entire family?
Yeah.
No, so I used to get up and like go downstairs and they'd be asleep, so I'd be mooching about trying to find like another present that's still working.
I love the idea that these people from the estate had like squashed his presents.
Yeah, so I found a cigar that had been sort of lit up and then put out, so I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that.
Yeah.
I went outside and had a go, and that's the last time I smoked.
Right.
Sort of, I tried it, I thought, I don't like that.
I love the fact that he does everything once.
Yeah.
In his life, it's a line of, I've done everything once. I don't need to do it again. Oh, dear.
You know, I've said in the past to you, Rick, that my grandparents, so I love them dearly, but it's like, for the last 30 years, they've been waiting to die.
I know,
It's
yeah.
like they just sort of, it's like, you know, the novelty wore off of like... you know, just-
Life in the
Yeah, they
50s.
got kind of bored of it. Like, yeah, in the 40s, it was brilliant. All sat around the old Joannas, the bombs
Yeah.
fell, singing. They loved that. The 50s, you know, that was great as well, because that was the post-war years. It was, you know, it was a bit tight in the pocket, but it was alright, everyone pulled together. And then the 60s came along, all the crazy music, the funny hair.
Let's stay in bed.
Exactly, and they basically stayed in bed. And it was one Christmas when my grandmother said to my dad, what do you like for Christmas? What do you fancy for Christmas? And this must have been, I don't know, 20 years ago. She said, what do you fancy for Christmas, Ron? And he went, well, you know, I could do with a nice big kind of warm winter overcoat. She said, don't worry about that. He said, don't worry about that, because your father will be dead soon. It's right, you can have his. Meaning my granddad. Well, to be honest with you, my father's still waiting. Which is good news. Good news for my grandfather. Less good news for my dad. He's freezing.
He's freezing. Oh, he finds out. How is he today? He's fine. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm freezing.
It is it's such a weird mindset, that. I think it's that, to me, is what sums up people from that older generation, the 40s and 50s. And it seems to me that you've got that kind of mindset. It's like you were born in the 30s. And whenever you talk of your childhood, it's like you had, like, a baked potato to take to school. And a hoop and a stick as a Christmas
The other thing is, I think that that sort of generation, it seems that the man is dependent on the woman. There's a total dependence.
Oh, absolutely,
If she dies, he's done.
Yes.
He's
yes.
done for.
Yeah.
He'd just pine away. If he dies, she's got 30 years of pottering.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And going to, like, you know, the youth club and the
Yeah, I know
church.
what you mean, yeah.
It's sort of like that. It's sad. Of course, it's sad for them, but it's not the end of their life.
No, sure.
And it sort of is the other way around. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That's a little melancholy thought for
I
this
know,
Christmas
I've really
time.
you brought it down, you've brought it down, I've brought it. This isn't a nice show at all, this is terrible.
Well, I
We're
didn't
gonna have
really
people
wanna make
just
it
killing themselves.
Well,
What?
Well, I didn't really want to make it a Christmassy type show, because I don't don't really like it.
Oh, he's done it again. Well, you did Christmas once, didn't like it.
No, it's just
Play a record.
I'm not religious or anything.
What are you? You're not anything.
You see, sex on films and all that, right? When I was growing up,
Here we
I'd
go.
be watching. No, just saying an example of this, really,
Go on.
right? When I was growing up as a kid, and I'd be, watching films with my dad, right? He'd really be enjoying a film, right? And then a sex scene would happen,
Right.
and he'd go
On film.
in
Or
the
just
film,
behind you.
in the film. A sex scene would happen,
Your brother up to his old tricks again.
and he'd get up and go make a cup of tea, right?
Right.
Typhoon? That he'd stolen from some sort of telephone box?
And like even recently, he thinks it ruins a film. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no need for it to happen, is there? Really?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes it's warranted. If the film itself is
Yeah, no,
fundamentally
some
about-
films it isn't though. Some
No,
films it
of
isn't.
course, some films it's arbitrary.
I think the films that him and his dad watched together on Channel 5.
Yeah.
Probably not. Is it only on Channel 5
but
in
do
your
you not-
house?
But let's put it, if you're watching, I don't know, a late night, Friday night,
From
erotic thriller.
1983.
Yeah, illegal briefs. A beautiful lawyer has to defend a man who may be a killer. She falls in love with him, but does she know the real man?
Oh dear.
You know what I mean, though.
Lest you forget, of course, that I,
Love Heat. With the bloke that is now in. Go on.
of course, that I, according to the Internet Movie Database, I once appeared in one of those films, in the film Killer Image, a Canadian film, I believe, from 1989. According to that computer,
It's all wrong,
website.
isn't it?
It's all wrong.
It's
completely
all wrong.
Of course it is. Yeah. Apparently, I was in that, and I played the role of Kirk.
Was it a porn thing?
No. I think it's just an erotic thriller.
Oh, right.
That I supposedly
You
was
only had a
in.
very small part though, didn't you?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you don't need to go that far. Say, like in this Jesus program, right?
Film.
What's it called?
The Last Temptation of Christ.
Just like talking. You know what? What's his name? Is it Ralph in The Simpsons?
Yes.
I drawed a kitty cat. It's like talking to that.
Yeah.
No, but right, this temptation thing, right?
Do you know, often we don't get that many complaints on this show. We don't get very many complaints. And I think that's either because there's no listeners, or B, it's because most people agree with Carl, and that
I
terrifies
know.
me.
Or they let him off because it's like, you can plead insanity, you can go mental and kill a few people, but they go, oh, he's a bit backwards.
No, but was it because, like, they're saying that he was having it away? Or is it because you saw it? What got the complaints?
The complaint was the very suggestion.
It's a
that Christ
suggestion. It was
himself be
a
having
blasphemous
sex.
thing, not the fact that you saw an actor's knob.
So what about if they just cut it down a bit and you like, saw the little stable door closing?
It wasn't the baby Jesus having sex. It was the grown man.
The stable door shutting!
No, but you know
It
what
was the
they do?
nativity scene.
Ah, that is brilliant. That
but
is...
then-
The wise men saying, I can't believe we brought myrrh, we should have brought condoms.
No, yeah. There's 2 for 1 offering,
Yeah, I
Boots.
don't know what we were thinking. This
Oh,
frankincense.
It's just that it's always awful.
Should we
isn't it?
apologise now to the Christian
Christians,
church as
yeah.
well?
So
So
we-
it's the little Chinese fellas, little Welsh fellas, and the little Christian
We
fellas.
haven't said anything wrong.
No.
It's like, you see, when I was growing up...
Stable door. I love the idea that in Carl's world, he was born in a stable, just thought, well, I
Yeah.
love this place.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay here the rest of my days.
This is good here. Oh, brilliant.
But when I was watching telly with my mum and dad, I mean, it still happens now, right? My dad will sort of go, oh, ruined. Good film ruined, right?
Yeah.
If some sex scene happens.
But why doesn't he
But
just
what are we
ignore
talking
it?
about sex scene? Are we talking about kissing or are we talking about penetration and looking at the camera? Going,
just-
are you enjoying this, Pilkingtons? What are we talking about? What is sort of extreme levels are we talking about?
Right, last time I was down there, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black is a terrible film.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was it's a good film, and then you know it's going to happen because like the music comes in. Brad Pitt's keeping quiet. A woman's eyeing him up.
Sure.
So my mum,
I love that!
my mum's worked it out already, and she's going. Anything on the other side, love?
She knows. She
She
knows.
knows it's something's.
And so you can be enjoying a film and you can be an hour and 10 in, and then some spidey senses of one of them can go, should we turn it over? And the other one goes, yeah, all right.
Are you sure it's not them protecting you from scenes of sex? So that what they're thinking is, what if Carl gets the idea to have sex?
Yeah.
That could lead to procreation. We don't want any more like him.
Yeah.
We've got to end the line here.
You sure it's not the doctor? Keep calling out going, you are keeping away from
exactly.
women, aren't you?
He must never find out.
Are you
how
sure
it's
they're not
done.
embarrassed because they're watching a sex scene with their son?
It happens every time, right? There's two things that my mum does, right? It's that, if there's a sex scene on the telly, she'll go, you know, anything on the other side, love? And the other thing she always says, if ever there's anything on the telly with Elvis in it,
Yeah.
she goes, oh, I like him, right? And we all know, we sat there, we know what she's going to say next.
Yeah.
So you don't even bother saying why, right? And she goes, he likes fat, ugly people.
He what?
He liked fat, ugly people. He didn't always go for, like, the good-looking fans in the crowd.
What Elvis did?
Yeah.
Right.
That was always the thing, and
I'm sorry, no, hold on. I don't know what we're doing now with our lives, Steve. Right, wait a minute, right. So, your mum says two things, right? She either says...
Is there anything else on the other side?
Or, I like Elvis. There's a pause, because you know what she's going to say next. She says, he liked fat, ugly people. How often does this occur?
Well, because they've got, like, you know, Sky, there's a lot of those channels on. They're like the music channels. So Elvis always comes on. There's either an Elvis film, there's, like, you know, a classic hit by him on...
And she'll go, I like Elvis, he liked fat, ugly people. And what do you mean he liked fat, ugly people?
Is she a fat, ugly person?
Because there's that special Vegas show, isn't there, where he's dancing about, right? And he's got loads of scarves around his neck.
Towels.
Yeah. And, like, he always hands them down to the fat, ugly ones. Right. And I always say it's because they're the fat, you know, they've got a sweaty face because they can't, you know what I mean?
I don't know what world they live in.
I don't know how we've gone to this subject.
What sort of world are you got when you're watching this thing? And what do you mean fat, ugly ones? You mean they're in the front, they're sweating a lot because they're a bit
Yeah,
chubby?
so she thinks, you know, is giving them a towel because
But
it's like...
he's really going, wipe your face, you're putting me off, you
Yeah.
fat cow. Stop sweating near me.
There's another one.
What?
So, hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We haven't slagged off hairy Chinese kids. We slagged off Chinese... We didn't slag anyone off. We just said they really haven't got a town as such, and they wear shoes. What did we say?
Yeah, little wooden shoes.
And what the...
I just don't know how we got onto Elvis and big fat ugly women. I don't know where we... I don't know how we sidestepped from the Last Temptation of Christ.
Did you see that fat, Girls and Feeders
Go on
programme?
a minute.
Eh?
What's
Tom
that?
Petty first.
Oh, brilliant. It's a great song. Breakdown.
How many
Tom
other
Petty.
radio shows have talked about Last Temptation of Christ, Chinatown,
Yeah.
fat ugly women?
More
Yeah.
than 60 minutes.
Exactly. Incredible. Sony Award winning.